Good afternoon, dear televiewers, and thank you for joining us for this exclusive interview. Today, we will be focusing on the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Cameroonian government and Bestway Finance Limited relating to the construction of rail and port infrastructures in Cameroon and the mining of iron ore in Congo. Our guest of the day is no other person than the Managing Director of Bestway Finance Limited in the person of Alexandre Mbiam. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for accepting to talk to us.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So tell us, as the Managing Director of Bestway Finance Limited, you have recently signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Cameroonian government that relates to the construction of rail and port infrastructures within the national territory that also allows the transportation of minerals extracted from the Congolese subsoil. What is your feeling about this achievement?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that this achievement really is the achievement of the Republic of Congo and the Republic of Cameroon and their ministerial teams, more than simply the achievement of Bestway Finance Limited and its team. We have been amazed by the level of support that we received from first the Republic of Congo, who back in November 30, 2020, decided to grant us 3 magnificent mining licenses for the Avima, Barondo, and Nabiba deposits, which were followed only 3.5 short months later by 3 mining conventions, allowing us for the very first time to export the mineral outputs through Cameroon. So this signature came very fast. We were shown tremendous support in the Republic of Congo, and we are very thankful towards both the ministerial teams over there, towards His Excellency, the President of Congo, for that support. And that support was matched in the Republic of Cameroon by the amazing level of help that we received from the ministerial teams here in the country, from the Minister, His Excellency, the Minister of Transport, His Excellency, the Minister of Mines, and that showed the strength of the will, the eagerness of His Excellency, the President of Cameroon, the Chief of State, Paul Biya, to see those mineral resources, which are located both in Congo, the northeastern part of Congo, and the southeastern part of Cameroon, be developed in the short term. And in only 2.5 months in Cameroon, we were able to sign a memorandum of understanding regarding the right of passage for the infrastructure that we wish to build. So basically, it's about 600 kilometers of double-track railroad and 125 million tons per annum in terms of capacity, mineral harbor, multimodal mineral harbor, south of the city of Kribi. So we have been humbled, and we are very gracious regarding the level of governmental support that we've been enjoying so far. And I'm very happy to say that it seems that we will be well in advance regarding the schedule that we established and we announced back on the 23rd of June 2021, when we signed the Memorandum of Understanding with the Cameroonian government. We believe that the conventions regarding that right of passage will be signed much sooner than originally anticipated. So yes, we are very thankful.
Thank you so much. And of course, one hand cannot carry a load. You need 2 hands. That is why you had help from all the different sources that you have. So tell us, what reasons can better describe your choice of passing through Cameroon when the ore will be extracted from the Congolese subsoils?
Yeah, so basically going through Cameroon allows us for a much faster development and a much cheaper one, since the way through Cameroon is less than half the length of the way through Congo. Basically, by going through the Sanga department, that's the northeastern department where the Avima, Barondo, and Nabiba licenses are located, all the way to the harbor of Lolabe, which we will build, it's about 600 kilometers. When going through Congo and going down to the Kwilu department, where the harbor of Pointe-Noire is located, it would have been more than 1,300 kilometers. So that's a lot faster development that we have been allowed to follow, thanks to both the agreement of the Republic of Congo and the support of the Republic of Cameroon.
What is the benefit that stands?
you. Thank you very much. Now, this time I heard you. Perfect. So for Cameroon, it's basically getting most of the jobs generated by these investments. So basically, as we've been able to, as we mentioned several times before, 20,000 direct and indirect jobs will be generated by this overall project when it comes to both the infrastructure, so the railroad and the harbor development and the mines. Since most of the railroad, 540 kilometers out of the 600, will be located here in Cameroon. Cameroon will directly benefit from these infrastructures. And same thing for the mineral harbor, since the mineral harbor is located here again in Cameroon. So that will be a direct benefit for the country, getting those infrastructure without a single franc of investment from the government. And that's extremely rare. Generally, there is 10 to 15% that is requested to be invested by the government. It is not our case. It's fully funded by the members of the consortium. And after the exploitation, basically, the ownership will revert back fully to the Cameroonian government. So jobs created, a transfer of knowledge, since we've been adamant upon the fact that every single job that will go to, for instance, a foreigner needs to be doubled by a local worker. So transfer of knowledge, and then at the end of the day, these infrastructure that are given to Cameroon that are available for the nation to develop other mining endeavors and also for the transport of the population. It's very important, however, at this point that I do mention the fact that it is planned that within 6 years, we start building a similar railroad and a similar mineral harbor in the Republic of Congo once the viability of such endeavors have been confirmed within the nation. So to summarize, for Cameroon directly, this investment means getting the infrastructure for free, of course, getting additional jobs, a good portion of the 20,000 jobs created, and very important too, and I did not mention that before, getting the tax benefits from that passage through Cameroon, because of course, as it is the case with Chad, for instance, we will pay a fee for every single ton, and let me remind you that there will be 100 million of them on a yearly basis that will go through Cameroon.
Thank you so much. And of course, we know that the construction of a railway line linking the town of Kribi in Cameroon to that of Pointe-Noire in Congo is estimated at over 540 kilometers. Is a valued outcome, as well as the construction of a mineral port in Kribi. What assurance are you giving those in power that you will live up to their expectations?
We would very humbly and kindly request to be judged based on the strength of the consortium we have gathered. The members of this consortium are among some of the strongest companies, both from a financial and from a technical standpoint in each of their fields. So when it comes to what is the cornerstone of the overall project, the off-takers, so basically the companies that are committing to purchase the production of the company, the vast majority of the production of the mines over the first 10 years. We have Baowu, the #1 steel manufacturer in the whole world, with more than 95 million tons of steel produced on a yearly basis, a revenue of upwards of 80 billion US dollars, that has agreed to be the purchaser of the majority of the production. We then have Tsingshan Steel, the first actually producer of stainless steel in the whole world, with a revenue above 40 billion US dollars, that has agreed to be the second off-taker of the overall project. And that's how we're able to convince the other companies, which are EPC contractors, engineering, procurement, and construction contractors, and which are CRCC, China Railway Construction Company, Yanshan Port, which is the company that built the harbor of Shenzhen and now operates it, and that makes them the third world operator when it comes to harbors, multimodal harbors. CRCC, well, I did not present them, but basically they are the #1 Chinese company when it comes to building railroad around the world. And finally, when it comes to the mines to be built, we've established a partnership with MCC, Metallurgical Corporation of China. They have more than 53,000 engineers working for them on a worldwide basis. They hold more than 25,000 patents. And they have built over the past 50 years more than 90% of the steel factories of Baowu, the #1 steel manufacturer in the world. So basically, we have partnered and we have built a consortium with tier 1 companies all around. This is the guarantee that we offer, and that's, I humbly believe, what was the convincing factor both for the Republic of Congo and for the Republic of Cameroon. This is why we know that this time around, this project will move forward.
Thank you so much. Since we are talking about your strengths, can you confidently tell us you are going to succeed where others have failed?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there are several reasons for that. First of all, this is the very first time that we see in such a short amount of time. We basically started officially building this project less than a year ago. It's the first time we see one company able to get those 3 mining licenses. So basically creating economies of scale by gathering 3 of the largest iron ore projects of the whole continent into one single company. 3 mining conventions that offer a lot of tax advantages, so make them very attractive for the consortium, and at the same time mark the agreement for the very first time of the Republic of Congo to accept to see its mineral output go through Cameroon, which is a very noble decision of that country in order to allow for the resources of what is called the Kasai Congo Craton to finally be developed. And then we see the brother country, the Republic of Cameroon, match the speed, match the dynamism of the Republic of Congo by signing so fast the Memorandum of Understanding regarding the right of passage. So that speed, that strength when it comes to the consortium are 2 deciding factors. The final one that is important to keep in mind is that we currently are in an economic condition that facilitates this kind of funding. As you well know, over the past 2 years, the price of iron ore has been steadily increasing. Actually, last May, we went above the last all-time record, which was $194 from the ton of Fe 62% iron ore. That was back in 2012. In May, we went above $200 when it comes to that. The price of iron ore has since then traced back to about $150, but it's still much higher than the global average over the past 20 years, which is less than $70. So that price context, that economic context, makes it even easier to develop the project as long as we keep on getting this strong support that we receive from both governments, and as long as, for instance, we signed relatively fast the legally binding agreements regarding the right of passage, so the convention for the right of passage, in order to be able to start the construction as fast as possible and finally make a reality of this beautiful project that will be life-changing for a lot of Cameroonians and Congolese. And for that, again, we thank both governments and both head of states for the strong support.
So I want you to tell us about your scheduled timetable for the project launch.
Yes, definitely. So basically the plan is to start construction by December 2021. So as soon as we have basically signed the the convention regarding the right of passage, then we plan on building the harbor, the railroad, the double track railroad, and the 3 mines within 24 months, 24 to 36 months. With a start of exploitation scheduled for 2024 and a very fast ramp up to 100 million tons per annum within the first year. So that is the plan, and after that we will of course proceed with the exploitation for 25 years.
So by December of 2021, that's barely 3 months from now, we are going to be moving for the phase of this project. Is the mining of the Mbiam iron ore also on your list?
Well, that's as with all your questions so far, a very good question. Unfortunately, so far, Mbiam has not been included within the budget that we've gathered in order to allow for the good exploitation of the mineral resources of the Kasai-Congo Craton. So for now, it's only the exploitation of Avima, Badondo, and Nabiba, not the exploitation of Mbalam that has been prepared for. We actually wish to say that we are, of course, very open to adding Mbalam if it was requested by the government. Will be very honored and happy to add Mbalam to the fold in order to allow in 2024 for that great deposit to be exploited too, for the greater benefit of the Cameroonian population.
So let's leave the Memorandum of Understanding and let's focus about Bestway Finance Limited. Can you tell us more about Bestway Finance Limited?
Of course, it will be my pleasure. Bestway Finance Limited is a Hong Kong company which is fully funded by Asian capital and is the fruit of the eagerness of several Chinese companies to finally see the potential of the Kasai-Congo Craton, so the potential of Avima, of Badondo and Nabiba to be fully exploited, and to finally see this area of the world generate what will become the 5th producing area when it comes to iron ore in the whole world. So that's basically what Bestway Finance Limited is. And I dare say that the company is right now very happy, again, with the support that it has received locally. And we, the managers of Bestway Finance Limited, are very honored by the trust that has been given to us from both the local governments and the Chinese investors.
Thank you. As you mentioned, so that Bestway Finance Limited is the 5th product era of iron ore. And of course, we also note that knowledge is power, and without the support of the Cameroonian government and the Congolese government, you wouldn't have gone this far. Thank you so much for granting us this interview.
Thank you very much. Thanks again for having me tonight. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.